Been a little while since I posted an episode. Now, that's mainly because not much has been happening. So, let's have some fun and games. Now, more on that as we close out the show. Meanwhile, let's make way for the boys and their sing along. G'day West Ham mates, welcome to another episode of the SouthernJoe West Ham show. I'm your West Ham mate. From down under, I'm SouthernJoe. So far this off-season, we've had the following departures leave our squad. Thilo Kehrer has moved on to the sunny shores of AS Monaco. Goalkeeper Nathan Trott has made a permanent move to FC Copenhagen. We wish those boys well, along with Said Benrahma, who was on loan to Lyon. Now that's been made a permanent move, so good luck to Said. Michael Forbes from our under-21s has been loaned out to Bristol Rovers. Now Flynn Downs, he was on loan as well to Southampton, and he's made that a permanent one. Now, I'm not thrilled with that along with Said. I thought that would have been good for us, but it's what happens in the modern game, and we must stay strong with our support. Levi Lang from our young'uns has also been loaned out. He's going to be helping out lower league outfit Cheltenham Town. Our incomings, well, they include Andy Irving, who has apparently been impressing in pre-season. And we've got Max Kilman, who's come over from Wolverhampton Wanderers. We also have signed Wes Fotheringham on a free transfer, and he's going to be our third goalkeeper as well as our goalkeeper coach. A good dual role there. That goes along with our signing of young Brazilian Luis Guilherme. I hope I pronounced that right. I expect more signings, and I have faith in the new gaffer and the recruitment team. I've also figured out the way the reporting on transfers go. Now, it seems that reporters throw enough crap on the wall with regards to rumours that when the good ones stick, they take credit for what they perceive to get right. Most of the dodgy sites will just print anything that anyone makes up, including the more solid ones filtered in there. But the reputable sites will do pretty much the same, but will at least fill out some of the really dodgy stuff. Now, when a deal doesn't go through, that I reckon wasn't there in the first place, they find some sort of excuse that I believe is also made up as a cover-up. So just be wary. Now, so far in pre-season games, we've drawn with the evergreen top Hungarian team, Ferencváros. We had a 2-2 draw with them. We beat Dag and Red 1-0 with a largely freed squad, so that was a good hit out for them. And currently the squad is enjoying a summer of friendlies in Florida with a training camp. We were defeated 3-1 by Wolves in a friendly over in Florida in the last couple of days. But coming up this weekend, we take on Crystal Palace in another friendly in Tampa, Florida, before jetting back to London for the Betway Cup against Celta Vigo, who is a Spanish club. Now, that match will take place on the weekend after that, and then it's started a new Premier League campaign, a new beginning against Aston Villa. First match in anger for the gaffer. Okay, time for a break. Then the fun and games really starts. Welcome back to the Southern Joe West Ham show with your West Ham mate from down under, Southern Joe. Now, I've often compared how some people think transfers are just a sit-down meeting between the gaffer, the player, and their rep, or a meeting, first of all, between the gaffer and a club rep to kick off negotiations of the transfer fees, and all that, etc. But I thought I'd share why by showing how I play FIFA 23, and I'm looking to upgrade FC 24 when I can on the PS4. Of course, I usually play as West Ham, and I don't play as any other top team. I go as far as I can and win as many trophies as I can, playing about the third hardest level I can. I keep the team as up to date as possible, with the exception of two things once I have enough funds built up. I usually buy Adama Traore. Now, that's the one who used to play for Wolves but now plays for Fulham. So be careful with if you want to pick him, because there's at least two of them. And I also splash the cash and end up signing Kylian Mbappe. Now, my formation is typically the 4-2-3-1 wide formation. I've dabbled with the 5-3-2 formation as a secondary formation for harder teams when I need a bit more defensive resilience. I also try to rotate the squad as much as possible and usually put a player who has asked not to be on the bench into the starting lineup, even if it's Danny Ings, and putting Mbappe starting as a sub. This seems to help with overall stamina and, of course, morale. After a few sessions, and I don't play that often, and playing a few seasons, I restart the game and decide to take on a League Two side as a challenge and see if I can manage them to Premier League status. This is a challenge that started when I played FIFA 21. I admit here that I do go a touch overboard at the start because I set the financial backing to £200 million. I try and buy as strong a squad as possible as well. Now, these include Dimitri Payet, who always seems to be ready for a bit of a payday, even at a lower league, Freddie Sears, as well as some other ex-Hammers. I try to sign a few Aussies, but have to be careful which ones, because League Two and League One plays games through the international breaks. I've also signed a few Hungarians, being that my parents are Hungarian, and I always send scouts to Hungary and to Slovenia, where my wife was born. Sometimes Marko Arnautovic and or Gianluca Scamacca will agree to sign with me in League Two, but players like them, as well as Lanzini, Kral, Felipe Anderson, and now Formals, just to name a few, usually won't sign with me until I've made it to at least the championship level. These are the teams that I've led to the Premier League over the past 2 or so years. I started out with Scunthorpe United, and that was because they have our colours. Now, I don't know if this is a sin. If it is, forgive me, because I'm not an English person. I'm not an Aussie, but I am a dedicated Hammers fan, and I have been for some 5 decades, just to let you know. Now, I've also previously managed Exodus City, because their away strip at one time was purple and gold, like my Sydney Kings. So hence, I always changed the kit to the away kit. By the way, I always play West Ham in their home shirt, no matter who we are playing and where. And I change the other team to the most visually contrasting kit as well. I tried Walsall on FIFA 21 because their red, white and touch of green was very reminiscent of my beloved St George Budapest team, which is a team in Sydney founded by Hungarian immigrants, and they produced some of Australia's finest players back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, including former Hammer Robbie Slater. I've also played as AFC Wimbledon because of the blue and gold, which are like my Parramatta Eels in the NRL. Parramatta being where I was born. And I'm currently competing as Harrogate Town. Once again, this is because of the colours that are close to my heart in other codes. Every now and then, I look at the available jobs, and as soon as I see West Ham is available, I apply straight away for the gaffer job. I've never failed to land the job either. The funniest part of playing this way is that what you end up with when you take over, especially in light of recent transfer rumours. One of my most recent efforts guiding Wimbledon to the championship and then getting the Hammers gig was many current players had been traded away. I always make it a priority to get them back, but I sometimes keep any high quality players that are not with us in real life. So a quirky instance of this is I inherited Kyle Walker-Peters, who's a player whose rating is quite high, but has been circulated in the press as a target for West Ham United in real life. So it's funny that happens. I want this to be a sharing experience. So, share any hints and tips in the comments down below. And by the way, here's my opinion on how to play the numbers game when negotiating a transfer fee with another club. If their rep says, how about this price, you know he has wriggle room and you can bargain him down a bit further. Now, if they stay firm twice on their figure without reduction, you have a risk of two choices. You can either just accept the offer, even if you have enough cash, even if it's more than you want to spend, or you can go in with an offer slightly under what they're sticking to. Now, they often accept this revised offer, or they take it under advisement. So if they take it under advisement and they stall, very rarely will they go backwards on their last offer. But if you persist on trying to nail them down on a low ball offer, they will crack the sads and they walk away. The negotiations with players and agents are fraught with danger in a lot of cases, just like in real life. Now, I like it when the agent sets the parameters because they will inadvertently save you money in wages most of the time. I haven't nailed down a foolproof formula for player negotiations yet, so I'd be interested in seeing what you guys say about that subject. Now, by the way, any comments on FC24? I've seen it reduced in price here in Melbourne, on the disc. I use PS4, so if any of you guys have played FC24 on the PlayStation 4, let me know if it's better than FIFA 23, or you just find it's an updated database on FIFA 23. Well, that's it for episode 9. As I've said, I'm genuinely interested in your views on the fun and games we've had here today. Till next time, this is your West Ham mate from down under, Southern Joe, and I'm saying hooroo.